In this video, I go through the latest Drupal release 11.3. It's a feature release and there are a couple of new exciting things about it. So if you are a Drupal developer or anyway into content management systems, if you are a digital strategist, this is a video for you. And yeah, please also consider subscribing to this channel. So it's all about web development, digital strategy, AI. But let's dive into the announcement of the Drupal 11.3.0 release. It was announced on the 17th December 2025. And yeah, there are some cool new things. The third feature release of Drupal 11 is here with the biggest performance boost in a decade. Serve 30% more requests with the same database load. New native HTMX support enables rich UX with up to 71% less JavaScript. Plus, enjoy the new stable navigation module, improved CK editor content editing, native content export, and cleaner OOP hooks for themes. So quite a packed feature release. And now, yeah, let's dive into the different parts. There are even sub-posts. I will slightly touch them to, yeah, just underline the improvements. Yeah, so what's new now? The biggest performance boost in a decade, database query and cache operations on both cold and warm caches have been significantly reduced. Our automated tests show that the new optimization for cold caches is about 1/3 and on warm cache requests by up to 1/4. Independent testing shows even bigger improvements on complex sites. The render and caching layers now combine database and cache operations, notably in path alias and entity loading. BigPipe also uses HTMX on the front end, leading to a significant reduction of JavaScript weight. Yeah, so this sounds complex, but in the end, it's a way the community came up with better caching strategies. So if we go into that, let's first maybe quickly look at the data. So if you compare the query count that is done between the previous release, so it's a significant reduction because of caching. It's also less cache gets that needs to be done, also cache tag lookup. And this is done by basically using latest PHP fiber features. And actually in this article, they will explain how exactly that is done. I won't dive into that, but yeah, it's always good to have better performance. So I need to hide here the reader. Yeah, so that's pretty exciting, I would say. But the next one is even more exciting, I think. So it's native HTMX, rich user experience with up to 71% less JavaScript. Drupal 11.3 now natively integrates HTMX, a powerful dependency-free JavaScript library. HTMX dramatically enhances how developers build fast, interactive user interfaces. It enables modern browser features directly in HTML attributes, significantly reducing the need for extensive custom JavaScript. So yeah, this is quite cool. It's in core. You could integrate HTMX by leveraging a module, but now it's part of core, and even core is also using HTMX. And if you look into here, it's actually quite interesting. So now all these previous libraries, and these are actually libraries that existed for years in the Drupal code base, and they are now combined and replaced by HTMX. And as you see, it's not only a reduction of the file size, but also actually an extension of what's possible. So HTMX was originally created by Carsten Gross. The motivation was to provide a modern yet simple way to build dynamic user interfaces by leveraging the existing capabilities of HTML and server-side architecture, effectively offering an alternative to the complexity of heavy client-side JavaScript frameworks. By sending less data HTML fragments instead of large JSON payloads and complex client-side rendering logic, HTMX often results in faster perceived performance and less bandwidth consumption. It is being adopted by developers across diverse ecosystem. So yeah, in the end, it's a way to kind of Ajaxify your application, and it's specifically powerful for for server-side rendered applications, which Drupal is. And so HTMX is not only a Drupal-specific thing, it's a library that is adopted by many other JavaScript frameworks. And as you see, the HTMX frameworks was in the Rising Star JavaScript survey among #1 or among the top frameworks that gained adoption even before React and Svelte, etc. So I'm particularly excited about that because it allows basically innovation on the UI, whether it's on the basically front-end UI, but also in the admin UI itself, to build much faster UIs and more modern user interactions by leveraging HTMX. And actually we use that in our product NodeHive, which is built on top of Drupal. We use that quite heavily. I created a video recently about the document asset, digital asset management system, which is leveraging the HTMX library to build this interactivity. So having that now in the 11.3 release in core is exciting, actually. I think this is one of the key points maybe. And the good thing is we don't have to rebuild the admin UI with React entirely. Maybe at one point we will do that, just use a modern, really decoupled front end, which maybe even adds more interactivity. But why do that if you have HTMX and we can slowly adopt HTMX in the UI to make the admin screens as well as the front ends more interactive. I think it's super powerful. I like this extension a lot. So there are a couple of smaller things maybe behind the surface, but the navigation module is now stable. The navigation module is now stable, offering a superior and more modern experience than the old toolbar. While it's an experience worth installing on all sites, it's mostly useful for sites with complex administration structures. While not yet the default, we strongly encourage users to switch, benefit from its improvements. So this is an initiative that was started to make the admin UI a little bit more modern. So the sidebar with the navigation module is much more modern, what you would expect from a modern web application. And now it's stable. It was there. For me, it was already stable, but now marked as stable in the code base. And so we also use that on several of our projects. Improved content editing. CK Editor now natively supports linking content on the site by selecting it from an autocomplete or drop-down using entity reference. CK Editor also has new user-friendly options for formatting list bullets, numbering, etc. Finally, a dedicated admin node publish status permission is introduced to manage publication status of content, which does not require administer nodes anymore. So some small improvements. I know these are sometimes annoying, specifically if you are new to Drupal and you don't know how to configure that. Having that available out of the box with zero configuration or little configuration is certainly a powerful extension. Object-oriented hooks in the themes. This is a very technical thing. Themes can now use the same hook attribute system as modules, with theme namespaces registered in the container for easier integration. The change allows themers to write cleaner, more structured code. Themes object-oriented hook implementations are placed in the source hook directory, similar to modules. Themes support a defined subset of both normal and alter hooks. This is just a modernization and making the hook system for themes also on par with custom module development, which is a good way. And now specifically if we start to build Drupal canvas powered themes. So this is just something that needed to be done and is now available. Very healthy development. Very, very nice to see that happening. Next one is also cool. Native support for content export. Drupal core now includes a command line tool to export content in the format previously introduced by the contributed default content module. Drupal can export a single entity at a time, but it's also possible to export the dependencies of the entity automatically. For example, images or taxonomy terms in references. To use the export tool, run the following from the Drupal sites root. So this is cool to have that. Actually, it was possible before with custom modules, as mentioned here. But yeah, having that as part of core allows to more streamlined deployments, specifically if you only start with core. And this was needed also for the upcoming release of Drupal CMS 2, the version 2. So basically the lightweight distribution to build Drupal sites. And now it's possible to not only export but also import content, which is very, very nice. PHP 8.5 support. PHP 8.5 itself was released last month, so quite recently. Drupal 11.3 not only ensures full compatibility and support for PHP 8.5, but made core testing also run on it. PHP 8.5 is expected to become the minimum required version of Drupal 12, planned to release in 2026. Yeah, I really like this development, just to go with the cutting edge releases of PHP. PHP, even though it's an old language and sometimes seen as not a proper real programming language, it's not true. There is a lot of developments going on in PHP 8.5, and it's very nice to see that large PHP projects like Drupal adopting the latest PHP versions and actually build their code base on the new capabilities of the language. So this is exciting to see. I think it's a brave decision to say, hey, next version Drupal 11 is only compatible with 8.5. I think this is a reasonable step to do, because there will be a Drupal 11 long-term release. So you can even run Drupal on an older version of PHP. But yeah, we need that cutting-edge technology, latest versions of PHP to build the best content management system out there. New experimental database driver for MySQL MariaDB for parallel queries. A new experimental MySQLite database driver has been added to MySQL and MariaDB. It's not yet fully supported and is hidden from the user interface. While the current default drivers use PDO to connect to MySQL and MariaDB, this new database driver instead uses MySQLe PHP extension. MySQLe is more modern and allows database queries to run in parallel instead of sequentially as the PDO. We plan to add asynchronous database query support in future Drupal release. So again, using cutting edge technology and also adopt these. I mean, okay, MySQL LE is not new or so, but it's more modern, and it allows this parallelism. So I would expect even more performance gains once this is widely available. And again, it's nice to see that having an experimental database driver to actually use it from now on and build on top of that, it's a very healthy development. Yeah, some news about the core maintainer team updates. Since Drupal 11.2, we reached out to all subsystem and topic maintainers to confirm whether they wished to continue their roles. Several long-term contributors stepped back and opened up roles for new contributors. We would like to thank them for their contributions. Additionally, Roy Scholten stepped back from his usability maintainership and Drupal core product manager role. He has been inactive for a while, but his impact on Drupal since 2007 has been profound. We thank him for his involvement. Thank you, Roy. Mohit Herta joined as a maintainer for the file subsystem. Sean is a new maintainer for the HTMX subsystem. David Cameron was added to as a maintainer of the link field module. Pierre Duro and Floro Torregrosa, I hope I said it right, are now the maintainers of the asset library API. Finally, code by Mikey is the new maintainer of basic auth. Yeah, so some changes in the maintainership. Very nice to see that people can step in and take over the responsibility. Also, this shows that Drupal is very healthy. And going forward, we plan to review core maintainers' appointments annually. We hope this will reduce the burden on maintainers when transitioning between roles or stepping down, and also provide more opportunities for new contributors. Yeah, so I think this is very, very important. Being responsible for an open source product is stressful or can be stressful. So having there a governance structure with, that you ongoing readjust, is that still something I want to do or not? And then actually have kind of a pipeline of people who can take over maintainership is also very, very healthy. Want to get involved? So some information how you can get involved. Drupal 10.6 is also available, so that's the release schedule. The long-term version is now Drupal 10, and now they also updated Drupal 10.6. The next maintenance minor release of Drupal 10 has also been released. It will support it until December 9th, 2026, after the release of Drupal 12. Long-term support for Drupal 10 gives more flexibility for sites to move to Drupal 11 when they are ready, while staying up to date with Drupal dependencies. This release schedule also allows sites to move from one long-term support version to the next, if that is the best strategy for their needs. Yeah, so that's the news about 10.3. It's available now. Upgrade your sites and directly get the performance boost and get these new rich interactive HTMX features amongst all the other innovations. I'm excited about it. What about you? I'm curious what you think about the latest release. If you like content like this, please consider subscribing to this channel. And until then, see you in the next one.